Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to another top 5 video. Now, it's been a while since we uploaded our last top 5, and I wanted to bring back this series with a Pokemon related top 5 video. Now, it was just going to be a matter of time until I started doing Pokemon top 5 videos, considering that our channel is based around Pokemon. Now, when it comes to this list and compared to our other top 5 videos, is that this list is going to be in order from my least favorite to my most favorite. Now, what I mean by that, these are top 5. So all 5 of these Pokemon are my absolute favorite Mega Evolution. I'm just going to be talking about them from my least favorite out of the 5 to my most favorite out of the 5. So that's how this list is going to work. Now, most of the time, I don't like putting a lot of this stuff in order because I don't like saying I favorite this whatever compared to that one or whatever the case may be. I just don't like placing like stuff in order, but it was just gonna, like I said, be a matter of time until I do like put stuff in order, and I wanted to do it with the Mega Evolutions because there's a selected few Pokemon that get Mega Evolutions, and I think it's fitting for me to put these Megas in order. Now, when it comes to these top 5, they're going to be combined with the X and Y Megas and the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Megas. So with all that said and done, let's just start this top 5 video with number 5. Okay, so I told you guys this was a top 5 video, but in a sense, I sort of lied. Now, compared to our number 6, aka our honorable mention Mega, and our number 5 favorite Mega, I couldn't decide which one to actually have for the list, because I like them equally. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to add them both to the list, and whatever one makes number 5, and I was going to have the other one as an honorable mention. And that honorable mention Mega is Mega Pidgeot. Now, I honestly love Mega Pidgeot. I think it was one of the most hypest Megas, in my opinion, out there right now, because like it's just that there's a lot of Pokemon that do need a Mega Evolution, and Pidgeot is no exception because it actually honestly needed a Mega Evolution, and I'm glad it did. But the one thing that actually surprised everybody with this Mega is that it's a special attacker, and everyone thought, including myself, I wouldn't say everyone, but majority of like the fan base of Pokemon thought, and once again, like I said, including myself, thought Pidgeot was going to be a physical attacker. And long and behold, I always say this in my Mega Evolve videos, it's just that Game Freak can surprise us, and that's the one thing I liked about Mega Pidgeot that Game Freak did to it, was that he made it a special attacker, because everyone, like I said, thought it was going to be a physical, and he gave it the ability No Guard, which is amazing, because then moves like Heat Wave, Air Slash, and Hurricane will never miss, because that's what No Guard does. And I honest to God think that's one of the best abilities to give to Mega Pidgeot. Now, I honestly thought that it was going to become part Fairy and get Pixelated, but it did not. But regardless, it really doesn't matter to me, because regardless of anything, Pidgeot is one of my favorite Megas. It has one of the best designed Megas as well. And I know that, I believe the King Nappy says that Mega Pidgeot is a turkey bird. Well, I always nickname mine Turducken. Now, if you don't know what a Turducken is, pretty much it's a chicken stuffed inside of a duck, and then that duck is then stuffed inside of a turkey. And to me, that's what Mega Pidgeot looks like. I love its design, I love its shiny form, because out here we have a baseball team called the Jethawks, and like their main color is somewhat purple and gold, I think, if I'm mistaken. It's been a while since I've seen them, but I know that like they're part purple is one of their main colors, and when it's shiny, I believe that ribbon thing that's on its head is purple, and I really do like its shiny form. I love everything about Mega Pidgeot, from its design to its Mega stats, even though I wish it would be better. But regardless, the main focus of why I love Mega Pidgeot so much is because for one, it's a Gen 1 Pokemon that honestly needed a Mega Evolution, and two, its design is just amazing, and I love everything about that. So I had to have Mega Pidgeot on this list as either a part of the top 5 or just an honorable mention, but regardless, I had to add this Pokemon to the list. So with that said about Mega Pidgeot, let's actually start the top 5 video with number 5. Now, I told you guys that between Mega Pidgeot and our number 5 pick It was just going to be whatever one made number 5 because I like them equally. And who made number 5 was Mega Medicham. Now, once again, like I said, I love Mega Medicham equally to Mega Pidgeot. Now, the one thing that I like about Mega Medicham that I didn't really like at the beginning was its design. Like, when I thought Mega Evolution, something was just going to be dramatically changing it, and sometimes, obviously, Mega designs don't really, like, hype up the Pokemon all that much, and that's what did it for me, was that Mega Medicham's design wasn't all that great to me. But then when I saw its shiny form, I thought it was amazing. Like, its shiny form was pure, like, gold, and no pun intended, because part of it does look gold. But regardless, like, I really wasn't a fan of Mega Medicham at first, but then I decided to make a team based around Medicham, and this thing was just a monster. I remember this exactly, and I will never forget that. And pretty much, I was like, I built teams at the time, like, not around tiers, so I had random Pokemon and then added a Mega, and that was pretty much the team. And that's what I did with Mega Medicham's team, and I still have that team to this very day. But I remember this part in the battle that I had. I was double intimidated, I was toxic, and a Pokemon that was super effective to fighting came out. And it was very bulky. I can't remember what Pokemon it was, but I landed the high jump kick. It one-shotted without even a crit. And I was, I believe, -4, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Toxic does decrease your attack by 2 stages, plus 2 Intimidate drops. That was just showing you the power of Mega Medicham. It was just beyond amazing. This thing is just so powerful. And the one thing that I really never understood at the time was pure power, and that's Mega Medicham's ability. Now, I honestly didn't understand it at first, but after reading it like over and over again back then, it's somewhat like huge power, and I'm glad it got this type of ability, because after looking at Medicham's original attack base 60, I'm like, come on, yo, it needs to be higher than that. But regardless, partially the only reason why Medicham made it on this list was just because of that specific battle. I had, like, I believe a -3 or a -4 in physical attack, and I one-shotted a Pokemon with high jump kick, and it was just godlike. But other than that, that's pretty much the only reason why Medicham actually made it onto this list, was just because of that battle. There's really nothing much I can go over other than that, because its design is somewhat meh. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, but at the same time, it's not so much of the stats, but morely over, like, its stats and what it can do in battle. And once again, I really, like, the only reason why Medicham's on this list was because of that battle. So that's gonna be Mega Medicham as being my number 5 slot. So with all that said, let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Mega Camerupt. Now, when I first saw this beautiful creature, I fell in love with this thing at first glance. I love everything about Mega Camerupt. There's literally nothing I don't like about this thing. I mean, come on, how can you hate Mega Camerupt? I mean, look at it. It's a fucking walking volcano. I mean, it's fucking gorgeous. And not to mention that it has a M on its forehead to represent magma. I thought that little piece of detail just made everything for Mega Camerupt, because Camerupt and Sharpedo are the main mascots for the leaders in Team Magma and Team Aqua, so I was kind of, in a sense, expecting a Mega for those two. And once again, out of the two, I prefer Mega Camerupt just because I love its design. I love everything about it. Once again, like I said, there's literally nothing that I hate about Camerupt. I love everything about it, and not to mention, I love its shiny, like, design. It's black. How can you hate a black shiny? Like, well, it pretty much is personal preference, but for me, I'm a person who enjoys black shiny Pokemon, or just black Pokemon in general. I think it's one of the best colors for Pokemon, and Camerupt's shiny design is black. I honest to God think that's like the best shiny design out there at the moment, just because it's black. I honest to God really love black Mega Camerupt. Now the only downside about it being shiny, or if you use a Mega Shiny Camerupt, is that the M on its forehead doesn't change colors, so the black M kind of like blends in with like its black fur if you have a shiny Mega Camerupt. So I was kind of hoping that the color would invert and make it orange rather than black. So like pretty much the M will be orange and then the body will be black, so on and so forth. But that's the only thing I would probably have like a little like small change about the Mega, is that I'll probably turn the M orange. I don't know why Game Freak didn't do that. Maybe he did it and he forgot. I don't know. But Camerupt, there's literally, like I said, nothing I hate about that. Maybe a small little tweak here and there about its design, just because the M on its forehead should be orange when it's shiny. But anyways, as you guys may or may not know, I started to play VGC like early this year, or I should say the beginning of this year, sometime in like the beginning of January. And when it came to that, I decided to upload a lot of VGC like team review content. And when it came to that content, as time went on, I made a team based around Mega Camerupt. So in sense, I made a Trick Room team. And I still use that team to this very day, because once you get a Trick Room up, Mega Camerupt is going to be the fastest Pokemon on the field, because Mega Camerupt speed's base 20. That's one of the slowest Pokemon in the whole fucking game. And once this thing's in a Trick Room, just spam Heat Wave, Earth Power, or Hidden Power Ice, whatever like moves you have on this thing, it's just going to literally obliterate your opponent, because this thing gets access to Sheer Force. So Heat Wave and Earth Power are going to do so much fucking work on your opponent, and that's the one thing I really like about Mega Camerupt. Once you get a Trick Room up, this thing is just going to obliterate your opponent, and I still use my Mega Camerupt till this very day in my VGC team. And once VGC 2016 rules come around, hoping and praying that Mega Camerupt is still legal, and so is Cresselia, because that's the main Trick Room user I have on my team, I'm going to use Mega Camerupt again, just because I honest to God think it's one of the best Megas for a Trick Room team, maybe even the best Mega. So that's my number 4 pick, which is Mega Camerupt. So with all that said, let's move on to number 3. Coming in at number 3 is Mega Gyarados. Now, where to start with this magnificent sea serpent? Well, for starters, when X and Y was released, my first competitive team I actually built was based around Mega Gyarados. Now, at the time, I didn't think there was a tier list for 6th gen yet, so I'm pretty sure there was just a lot of people going by 5th gen tiers at the time. But I didn't play by tiers by any means. I thought it was just stupid. But as time went on, I started playing by tiers. But that's besides the point. Basically, my first Mega that I actually used in competitive play was Mega Gyarados, so that always holds something dear to me, because it's one of the first Megas I've ever used. And besides being one of the first Megas I ever used, there's just a lot of things that I love about this magnificent sea serpent. For one, its type is changed when it Mega Evolves. It loses its flying type characteristics and gets changed to Dark. Now, that's one of the most smartest moves that Game Freak has ever done. Granted, I would probably like Dragon more than Dark, but as time went on, it actually grew on me, because I don't remember if I said this or not, but Gyarados doesn't get access to any flying type moves, and it gets access to Dragon type moves and Dark type moves. So I was actually either fine with Dark or Dragon, but I said I prefer Dragon over Dark, but that's besides the point once again. But it did get a type change, which actually helped Mega Gyarados a lot. You got another stab move for Crunch, because that's pretty much the main Dark type move that you would pretty much run on Gyarados, and it's such a powerful move. And also its Mega ability, Mold Breaker, which is also very, very good, because Rotom Wash is an OU, and if you do not know what Mold Breaker does, pretty much ground type moves can hit like Levitate users, and that's actually very good in my opinion, because then that way you can actually hit Earthquake with Mega Gyarados if you're running that move on it against like Rotom, on your opponent's Rotom. I just think it's so amazing. And even continuing about the competitive play aspect with Mega Gyarados, it gets access to Dragon Dance, and on top of having a fucking sky-high physical attack with a +1 in Dragon Dance, God forbid if you get a +2 from Dragon Dance, this thing is just going to be sweeping your opponent's team. There's literally no way to actually stop it unless you actually have either a Focus Sash Pokemon and also a move that can pretty much one-shot Gyarados, or if you pretty much beat it out with like priority like Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave or anything like that. And like +2 or just +1, Gyarados is just going to be doing a lot of damage. And that's the one thing I like about Mega Gyarados a lot, is that it's just pure power. Now, as design-wise, like, I honestly to God love its design. Now, I don't know if anyone noticed this at all yet, but I'm pretty sure there have been. But Gyarados, or should I say Mega Gyarados, looks like a big-ass shrimp, especially when it's in its shiny form. Now, I noticed that it looked like a big-ass shrimp, which made me want to use this Mega even more. But when I first laid my eyes on Mega Gyarados, I was like, yo, that looks like a big-ass shrimp. And when it's shiny, it even looks more like a big-ass shrimp. Because the reason why I say that is because I don't remember which special it was, but it was a Drake and Josh special before like the show ended. They did like a special every month, and one of them was when Josh was eating like big ass shrimp like the size of your hand. And after seeing that scene, it reminded me that Mega Gyarados looks like a big ass shrimp, and I just love that idea behind it. Like, I like creative idea behind that, and every time when I get a Gyarados, I always nickname it Big Shrimp, because it just fits it perfectly. Like, its design is like perfect. Like, I love everything about it. I like how it looks like a big ass shrimp, and this just magnificent sea monster is just by far one of the best Megas, and also one of the best designed Megas in my opinion. Sometimes you gotta keep it simple to make it amazing, and that's what Game Freak did to it, and I love Gyarados' Mega design. So with that, there's number 3, so let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is Mega Slowbro. Now, just like Mega Gyarados, Slowbro was one of the first Megas I've actually built a competitive team for in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, at first glance, I wasn't too much of a big fan of this Mega, just because it's somewhat too simplex, if that makes sense. I mean, pretty much the only thing that changed on this thing was that its tail pretty much ate Slowbro, or pretty much ate the whole body form of it. But then as time went on, and when I first used this thing in competitive play, I was just beyond sold. And then the design grew on me even more and more, and I loved it ever since. I mean, sometimes being too simplex, like, kind of kills it. But then as time goes on, sometimes being too simplex actually makes this thing the best thing ever. And that's how Mega Slowbro is to me. I mean, this thing gets access, I think it's Shell Armor or Battle Armor. One of the two that doesn't make any crits happen. I mean, this thing is just one of the most bulkiest walls in competitive play. All you gotta do is run max HP, max physical defense with a Bold Nature and foreign special defense, run Calm Mind, Slack Off, Scald, and Fire Blast, and you're pretty much set to go on sweeping. This thing is just beyond one of the best Megas of all time. Now, there's really nothing much I can actually say about this thing. It's just that sometimes being a little bit too simplex kind of kills it, but at the same time, it doesn't really kill it for Slowbro. Sometimes it just grows on you, and that's how it did for me. And like, this thing is such a really good Mega in OU. I mean, this thing can pretty much take care of a lot of its weaknesses that it's weak to. Morely so for Ferrothorn, because it gets access to Flamethrower and Fire Blast. My personal preference, I like Fire Blast the most, but once again, like I said, sometimes being a little bit too simplistic can kind of kill it, but at the same time, it grows on you, and that's what Mega Slowbro done for me, and it became one of my all-time favorite Megas. So with all that said, let's move on to the final Poke Mega, and that's number 1. Coming in at number 1 is Mega Lucario. Now, there's so many things I love about Mega Lucario, and for starters, 4th gen is my favorite generation of Pokemon. It used to be 3rd gen, but as time went on, and with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it kind of dropped down as like my 3rd favorite generation, and 4th gen was always my second favorite generation. But like I said, as time went on, 4th gen became my all-time favorite Pokemon generation. And with that, there's a lot of Pokemon in that generation, but out of all of those Pokemon, Lucario is just my all-time favorite 4th gen Pokemon. Now every time when I used to play Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum back in the day, and still to this very day if I do decide to play those games, I always have to have a Lucario on my team. It's just one of those staple Pokemons I always had to have on my team. I didn't care about dual typing, or like, I didn't care about having 2 of the same Pokemon typing on my team. I didn't care. Lucario was just one of those Pokemon that I always had to have on my team, whether if I had to wait for to get the egg from Riley, I believe that's his name. I think Riley is his name. I can't remember. Or whether if I hacked the game with one of the old Action Replay DSs, which I still have and use to this very day. Once again, either way, I always had to have a Lucario on my team. It's just one of the best Pokemon in the game. And when I found that this thing was getting a Mega Evolution, I fanboyed a little bit too hard. I was kind of embarrassed, even though I was by myself when it happened. But once again, I kind of fanboyed a little bit too hard because my favorite 4th gen Pokemon was getting a Mega Evolution. Now, when it comes to Mega Lucario, this thing is just a monstrous Pokemon when it comes to competitive play. I mean, granted, it went from OU to Ubers, and I believe in about a matter of a month. I believe, I'm not 100% sure because it's been a while since XY was released, and it's been a while since like tier changes happened when like Lucario was still in OU. I can't remember when it went to Ubers, but all I know is that it's still in Ubers, and this thing, it just has monstrous physical attack, monstrous special attack, very, very fast speed. This thing can be either physical or special, or if you want to run both, this thing can be a mixed Pokemon. Once again, this thing is just a very powerful Mega, and not to mention, this thing has the adaptability ability, which makes its typing whatever moves, like typing moves it gets, like since Lucario is fighting in Steel, its fighting and Steel moves are going to get boosted because of the adaptability ability. Once again, this thing is just so powerful. You can run Vacuum Wave, Dragon Pulse, Aura Sphere, Flash Cannon. There's your moveset right there. If you want to run physical, you got Rock Tomb, Blaze Kick, Vacuum Wave, or Blaze Kick, Earthquake, Close Combat. I believe it gets access to Mach Punch and also Bullet Punch. So that's pretty much your whole moveset right there. In my personal preference, I like to run a physical Lucario a little bit more than special, just because I love running Blaze Kick on this thing. But once again, Lucario can pretty much be either physical or special, and I love it, like its competitive play aspect. Now, as for its design, I love its design. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, and if you guys don't know that, I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball Z. But the one thing that Lucario reminds me of, pretty much his Mega form, it reminds me so much of Piccolo. Now, the reasons for me saying that is because its shiny form is like dirty yellow, and I kind of wish it was green. And if you don't know where I'm going with this, then let me explain. Pretty much, Lucario's yellow fur when it's shiny reminds me of Piccolo's like green alien skin, and the black line, like tribal lines that it has all over its body, resemble like Piccolo's muscles that you see everywhere on its body. That's what I mean about Lucario looking like Piccolo. And so every time that I have a Lucario on my team, whenever I'm in competitive play or just playing for the game for the hell of it, I always nickname my Lucarios Piccolo, or if I don't nickname them, oh well, but most of the time if I ever nickname a Lucario, I always name them Piccolo. Either if it's a male or female, I just think the name fits perfectly. But once again, its design just reminds me so much of Piccolo, and also its just design looks very, very like amazing. But once again, Lucario is my all-time favorite Mega, and probably will never change unless Snorlax, Butterfree, Marowak, or one other Pokemon that gets a Mega Evolution. That spot might change to be number 1, but regardless, as of now, Lucario, once again, like I said, is my all-time favorite Mega, so that actually is number 1. Anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this top 5 video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, I actually had a ton of fun recording this video, and I've been working on this video for probably a little less than a month. I started recording this roughly when I was done recording my last top 5 video, which will also be in the description box down below if you guys missed it. But it's just that I've been very busy, and whenever I actually had free time, I would sit down and record a part of this video. And once again, I actually had a ton of fun recording this, and this isn't going to be the last top 5 video by any means. I told you guys that I would try to have at least maybe one top 5 video every week, every other week, but sometimes like that can't happen all the time. I'll get a top 5 video out when I can. I mean, I already have my next top 5 video already planned. I actually have over 35 top 5 videos already written down. All I gotta do is just record them. But yeah, this is still a regular series on the channel. It's just that there isn't going to be a set schedule. There's going to be a top 5 video when there's going to be a top 5. There is going to be no guarantees when they're going to be released, but I always try to actually get it out maybe a week after, or every other week out after my previous top 5 videos. So when it just pretty much, whenever it's out, it's out. But with all that said, like I said, these are my top 5/top 6 favorite megas of all time. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, if you guys missed the previous top 5 video, which was my top 5 female DLC character wish list that I would like to see in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, it will also be in the description box down below, so you guys can go and check it out after this video. But once again, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.